Oh, newsflash. If I get cut off, you know the score. Just give me a minute and I'll come back in. But yeah, this is pretty big. So you know how Donald Trump and Elon Musk have suddenly proclaimed their love of Jesus and God, and everyone on the internet's been saying, "Uh oh, something's about to come out." Well, this all ties into the warning that I gave last year in regards to Donald Trump and Israel and Iran and all that too. This all matters because Iran had come out and said that they have video footage, they have actual evidence of Donald Trump doing things to girls. And because he has tried to say that he was exonerated from the files, which is a lie. Because remember, I was explaining about how reverse psychology works. Because these people work with mind control and they use fear in order to have dominance over people, they use reverse psychology a lot by saying this will happen and this is what we're going to do and this is and this will be and blah blah blah, to try and manifest it into reality, but they're up against the forces of God. So God always comes in with, you know, the side swipe to knock another brick out of their tower. So everyone's been saying something's coming out, clearly, because all of a sudden Elon Musk is, who was dressing up as Baphomet and talking about how he's Thanos and, you know, it's his responsibility to destroy the world and all this sort of thing. I'll put links in the description box. He did say it. He thinks he's Thanos and all the space lasers and all of that. Like, he literally thinks he's a god of war, like Mars. And now all of a sudden he's found Jesus. Because he's trying to be me. He, if you notice, he copies everything I do. Because he thinks if he copies me, he'll get the same powers and the same privilege, but it doesn't work like that. When you're the mirror image of light, you're darkness. So now people are saying something's coming out. Well, it is coming out because now what's happened is this Mr. Lou has come out and said that they've seen the videos of Trump doing what he's doing to those girls and threatening to kill them and all that sort of thing. It's actually on video, which corroborates everything that Iran was saying. So people in America who hold does he work for Congress or the Department of Justice or something like that? He's corroborating what Iran is saying. So Iran can't be the enemy then. If even like Americans like Mr. Lou, who hold the positions that he holds, where he's got men standing behind him with the American flag and that standing behind them, and the American SEAL standing behind them, backing his claims, Iran can't be wrong. You know, like if Iran was wrong, if Iran was in the wrong, the Americans wouldn't be backing Iran's claims, which goes back to that message about the second coming. Prepare for the second coming. So Elon Musk and that thinking he can jump on the Jesus bandwagon, you know, at the last minute, no. Because the thing is that I gave everyone enough warnings. The reason why this is worthy of a newsflash is because along with what they're now saying in America, the United Nations have stepped in and they've been investigating it too. I called all of these people in. You can see I hashtagged them on a lot of my tweets and all of that. The ICC, the European Human Rights Commission, the European Ethics Committee, the United Nations. Like, I called all of these people in to watch me whistleblowing as I was investigating. And the reason why this newsflash is important is because now with the United Nations agreeing that it's a human rights crime, what they're doing, they're specifically going after, they're saying we need to go after the traffickers, not just the people that they traffic the kids to, but the actual suppliers, the ones who traffic them. And who's that, people? Who are the traffickers? Keir Starmer. We know this. He's in the Epstein files as a trafficker. Just remember, if I get cut off, they're listening, and I'll be back in a sec. Zelensky. Everyone knows he's in the files as a trafficker, as a supplier, which then exonerates Russia, doesn't it? But they've already been exonerated anyway. And also Elon Musk, who builds the tunnels. But it also vindicates me, because everybody said I was crazy when I said that that's what they were doing. Remember the Joe Rogan show? Elon Musk admitted on the Joe Rogan show that he built the tunnels, that he digs the tunnels for them. I've been going on about Elon Musk and digging those tunnels for the human trafficking for how long? And everybody said I was nuts, and everybody said, and people stood by Elon. People in my life stood by and publicly defended Elon Musk against me. And Donald Trump as well. People in my life that I was trying to protect and defend publicly stood by and helped fund and finance Elon Musk and Donald Trump, buying their products and, doing things with them on social media and that. And I kept warning people, don't do it, because we're in the end of days. And what the side you're seeing on now is going to matter, because God's keeping score. God's keeping a tally. And now there's talk around the world about going after the traffickers, Modi in India. And then, so it vindicates everything I've been saying, because Keir Starmer gave DP World £1 billion to supply children to people like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and all of that. And Donald Trump makes a fortune from trafficking kids. Maduro in Venezuela, and the 170 kids they took from his fake invasion of Venezuela. And Keir Starmer helped them move those 170 children. So not only was I right about all of them and what they're doing, the United Nations and they are now getting on board, and people in positions of power in America are now corroborating everything that Iran was saying about Donald Trump and what he does to these kids. So now everyone's backing everyone up. The morally righteous are now backing everyone up, which vindicates me. And speaking of vindication, you know what else is getting out? Frazzled Rip. I just posted it. It's reached countries like Japan. And I have been going on about Frazzled Rip since 2016, 2017. Frazzled Rip is the whole reason why Hillary Clinton and the CIA and Trump and that came after me in the first place, because I was starting to get too close to the truth. I was already naming people like Tom Hanks, and you see the screenshots. I was naming a lot of people, a lot of celebrities that were about to go down. They were going to be fed to the wolves over things they were doing behind closed doors. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. I need coffee because, it's not that my nerves are shot. It's been quite an emotional day. I was having a bit of a tonguey to my sister, but I made such a fool of myself. I deleted the messages because I didn't want her to think, Jesus, was she 5? But the whole Frazzled Rip thing is important because photos and videos, it's all starting to come out. And now that Elon Musk is deleting people's videos and deleting their accounts and their posts and things like that, it just further and further proves how caught up in this he was. But now people are starting to call him out for it. People aren't buying his bullshit unless they're fake accounts or they've been paid to. But now more than ever, as word spreads, and organisations like the UN are getting involved. It's going to bring the ICC involved. Remember, I said we were going to have trials at The Hague, and we were going to see people like Donald Trump and Keir Starmer and von der Leyen and that at The Hague. Well, here you go. This is it. When the United Nations are stepping in, it'll be the ICC next. And then that's when arrest warrants will start getting issued, and countries will start, like their Congress, their Senate, their parliaments and all of that will start handing these people over to the ICC in order to take the rubbish to the dump. Because it's gone beyond being able to ignore it now. When videos and photos and that are coming out, because remember I gave Father the order last year, and I prepared you all, and I said to you all, just get ready, because when this stuff comes out, you're going to get so angry, cities will burn. People will be lynched, is what I said, and they will be. I know what happens to George Soros. I've always known, and it's not pretty, I can tell you that. Some of these people don't even make it to the jailhouses and prison, because once the public gets hold of them, they get torn apart. They won't have time to hide. People like Tom Hanks have gone to Greece to hide. But the Greeks will get them. But it's great for me. I get to sit back and see, because I'm not getting involved. I've done my bit. I've paid with my lump of flesh. I investigated within an inch of my life and paid with blood, sweat, tears, rotting flesh. My belly button is half the size it was because of the vomiting from being poisoned, ripping my scars open to the point where when the flesh was rotting and healed up again, it closed up my belly button. So now my belly button is tiny. So I've paid my dues. I've done my bit. So now the rest is up to all of you. I'm just going to sit back and toast my marshmallows on the open fire of the flames that is hell. Shouldn't have stolen my movie, The Dear Satan Cause, because then they'd know how this all works, because I wrote it in the movie. I explain it all in the movie to teach people about how if you don't sin, you'll never meet Satan. And they stole it. So, vindication shall be mine. I'm being vindicated for everything. Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, is in the Epstein files for trafficking and raping children, trans kids and girls with Ed Miliband, as recorded by Kevin Spacey, and he gave DP World, the CEO of which has just had to step down because he's in the Epstein files for trafficking kids and for procuring torture videos. He gave them £1 billion. So while elderly people are freezing and families are having to choose between heating the house and feeding their kids, he's using that money that he's not giving them to traffic children, so that people like Hillary Clinton can do what you're going to see on the Frazzled Rip stuff. And the Frazzled Rip thing is only the beginning. You know, Jeffrey Epstein, how he's having that conversation about hunting African Americans? Wait till you see those videos, and they do exist. They have trophy rooms. I talked years ago about the trophy rooms. And it's not just African Americans. Remember I was investigating that case about those missing African American males in like Georgia and all of that. And I said there was that one about the guy that worked for the council and they were working on the road and then he completely vanished into thin air. And I said, look underground. They hunt them because they're fit and strong. And, you know, it's always a certain, you know, strong, physically fit, athletic African American males and veterans homeless people, children, they hunt them. They even get siblings to hunt siblings, and then they have trophy rooms. The stuff I've seen, the average person wouldn't be able to psychologically handle it. But the stuff I've seen is the reason why I knuckled down and did the work so that I could do something about it. Like I said to my boys the last time I spoke to them, I have to try and do something about it, because everyone keeps telling me to give up. Just give up. It's never going to happen. Just give up. Don't save the children. Just give up. But I'm like, no. I have to try. Even if I am standing on my own, I have to try. And now, like people like Rocio and Nikki and Ria and Beth and Chris and Martin and all of that, all his little LK friends, the ones who thought, baha, we're really cool because we're going to help Elon Musk take Debbie down, and we're going to take all her work, and we're going to steal all her ideas, and we're going to be her because we can't be her, and, envy, jealousy, rah, rah, rah. Then now people are going to be like, wait, Rocio Ray Nunes, aren't you the one that tried to stop Debbie from... Didn't you try and do things to her son? Weren't you the one that teamed up with Donald Trump to try and stop her from protecting the children? Right, Nikki Barney Mustafi, weren't you the one who protected Martin's affair with the child groomer? And it's going to be like that. They walked into it. I warned them. I'm a Scorpio. See, if I was a fire sign, you wouldn't have been given a second's notice. The hammer of God would have just come down on you. But I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpions, we back, and we slowly bring our tail up. And when we do that, that's us. When we start distancing ourselves, that's the first sign you're doing things we don't want to be involved in, or that we don't agree with. When our tail starts coming up, that's when we give the warnings. I'll do this. I can do this. See this? This could happen to you. See this? This is going to happen to you. This is coming. Here it comes. That. And then the tail is where you'll get burnt a little bit. Like where you come close to being held accountable, where you come close to being exposed. And when you still keep coming at me, that's when the tail comes in and the poison comes down. And now the tails come in and I've injected the poison. So now they're all going to go down together. Chris, even Sumo Digital, all the people that I named and warned and gave them enough chances to do the right thing who didn't do the right thing, they're now going to be held accountable in connection to taking the sides of people like Elon Musk. I had people that I genuinely loved with all my heart that I risked everything to protect their reputations, choose Elon Musk even after I told them what he was doing, even after. And some of them already knew what he was doing and still took his side because he makes the money. The devil, he knows how to tempt you. And they did the same thing with Donald Trump. So anybody who is in... Anybody who is now seen publicly defending or supporting people like Donald Trump, Keir Starmer, Elon Musk, von der Leyen, all of that, Zelensky, whether it's through support on social media because you give them money, because you do business with them, that sort of thing, I'm telling you now, now that the truth is starting to come out and people are actually seeing video evidence, regardless of what community notes tell you and the fact checkers tell you, it is all true. I got fact checked about Ellen DeGeneres on Instagram, but nobody else, no other place is fact checking it. So when that stuff's happening, it means you're too close to finding out the truth, and they don't want you finding out the truth. The Wilson ball with that bloody handprint on the Wilson ball, that is mocking what they do to the children in the Frazzled Rip videos. And that's Tom Hanks, that movie. Because they're all in on it. That's why Ellen DeGeneres was getting her hands on the blood in that, because they removed the faces to wear the mask, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Silence of the Lambs and that, to get the adrenochrome, because they feed on the fear that gets released when they rip the kids' faces off. In that Fraser Rip video, you see what Hillary Clinton and what's her name? Aberdeen. I call her Yabba Dabba Doo. Alex Soros's wife. You see what they do to that little girl, like the whole video. You see her strapped to that chair. You see what they do to her from start to finish. And then you see them laying down on the table in the kitchen, high as a kite, with Clinton wearing her face, the little girl's face, in the video. This was the woman that was trying to run for president. They all do it. They're all involved. Biden, Harris, they're all part of the same team. They're all in the same cult. The stuff that you're going to see, it's bad. It's not just seeing the result of the kids in the washing machine and that. It's actually seeing what they do to get them into the washing machine and all of that sort of thing. And when this stuff comes out, when it's already reaching countries like Japan, it's only a matter of time before cities start burning and you see people like von der Leyen and Zelensky and that being dragged into the streets. I know Pelosi does. Hollywood celebrities get dragged out of their homes in Beverly Hills, and I saw it years ago. I talked about it on my blog. I've got screenshots. I have to get my stuff from the dungeon because I've got memory cards there that have got a lot of stuff on it too. So everything I risked life and limb for, I'm now being vindicated for. Everybody said that I was lying, crazy, making it up, being dramatic, being trouble. No, I was being honest. I was telling the truth. I was exposing it. I'm one of these people that when I see an injustice, I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't turn my back. I can't stay silent. My dorsolateral prefrontal cortex won't let me. I put myself at risk to defend the pure and innocent, to defend innocence, to stand in truth and justice. I'm a superhero. I'm like Superman, but the quantum menace, it's real. This is real. And I wasn't making any of it up. And every single person, apart from one sister and one nephew, turned their back on me. Even if they didn't see where it was coming from, they still stood by my side. When I got locked up, they still stood by my side and defended me. My sister ran to those doctors and she gave them shit. She gave them what for? She threatened them with all sorts. Nobody else did that. Because why? Because the prime ministers at the time were making money off what I was whistleblowing for. So, of course, the West Yorkshire Police and the NHS were going to try and shut me up and shut it down and destroy evidence in that, because then it exposes them because at the time as well, see, we had like the grooming gang stuff going on and the whole Bradford stuff going on, which me coming in with my evidence and my claims was only going to corroborate that it was a police and government cover-up. So they all thought, well, we're the law, we're the government, we're this, we're that, we're the military, we're Secret Service, we'll get her. Well, no, you didn't. One against many. The one who stood on solid ground, standing in truth, working for God, is still standing, watching everybody else now getting torn down. And I'm not going to do a thing about it because I've done my bit. I've done my bit. I'm just going to focus on getting me and my boys to Switzerland. Just me and my boys. I'll bring my sister over at some point. Just me and my boys. I don't need anyone else. I don't need anyone else. I lost people that I loved with all my heart, who have no idea how close I came to being murdered to protect them. And they still chose the sides of the people that are now being exposed for doing these kind of atrocities to children. And I'm allowed to be upset and I'm allowed to get angry, because it's like, how are there still people out there ignoring the fact that children are having their skin flailed so that rich, famous, powerful people can have access to their adrenochrome? You know, hocus pocus, sucking the youth out of the children. It's all based on that. And so frazzled rip reaching countries like Japan and that is a big deal for me, because when I first started coming out about it, I felt like I was the only one, other than, you know, what made it to the dark web and what the military boys were telling me, and that I was the only one who was speaking up about it. I was the only one brave enough. I've been the only one brave enough to speak up about it, about what all they've been doing, knowing I could get deported, knowing I could get arrested, knowing I could get locked up, knowing that they could just euthanize me. I've been threatened with that. Put you in a loony bin and euthanize you. I've been threatened with that. But I did it anyway. Because at least I know when I die with a clear conscience, and I die with God and Amber waiting for me. Unlike the rest of them. I'd rather die with a clear conscience than live on my knees in fear at the hands of the people who think they have the right to tell me what to think and feel. Nobody tells me who I am. I know who I am. And so this frazzled rip thing coming out is a big deal. When it's reaching the far corners of the globe, it's like, finally. And now with the UN and that getting involved, it's only a matter of time before it's the ICC and that. But because now they're talking about going after the traffickers themselves. So it's like DP World, Evergreen Line, who's connected to Hillary Clinton. It's Keir Starmer, it's Zelensky, it's Elon Musk, it's all of them. All they have to do is pull up that video with Joe Rogan that they deleted off YouTube when I exposed what Musk had said. All they have to do is bring that up, where he actually admits that that's what he admits it. So that St. Davis County boycotting Tesla and the Boring Company and XAI and Starlink and SpaceX and all that, absolutely 100% that's the right thing to do. Because he uses all of this stuff to supply the children. And, you know, to hurt children. Like, he uses all this stuff to hurt people. He's making money from it. The Boring Company is to steal metals and minerals and traffic children and hide the elites when they have to go into hiding. And he admitted it. They just need to bring up that Joe Rogan episode. I even time-stamped it. And then hold Joe Rogan responsible as well, because he deleted the video. So anybody who turned their back, anybody who knew something or saw something and didn't say something, they're going to be found just as guilty in the eyes of God. You don't turn your back on those sort of things. You don't, you know, like Pam Bondi and all that, protecting Cash Patel and all that. Why? It'll be because they'll have things on them too. But it's too late. The truth is the truth, and it can't be denied. And people are getting angrier and angrier and angrier the more that's coming out. But now that the frazzled rip stuff is starting to do the rounds, this is a big deal for me, because me exposing frazzled rip back then was was the whole start of them coming after me, because I was naming names that I shouldn't have known the names of, like Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. But the good news is, my school, I get to take over from Disney. I get to take over from Hollywood. We might not be as big as them, but we'll have values and morals and ethics, and the kids will be protected, and we'll be producing, wholesome, innocently made horror movies and thrillers and comedies and action movies and all that through the eyes of innocence, as it should be. And they stole the Dear Satan clause. So Paramount Plus and Kushner and all that, who handed it to them, God's going to put them through the vice and squeeze them of all the essence to hold them accountable for what they've done. They stole from God. They stole from God. Like Chris stealing my oils and that. Remember, he got that book about the occult, and I said to him, don't do it, because he showed me the book, and I said, this information is wrong, and he got shitty with me. Oh, I was just having a look at it, blah blah blah. And then when I got locked up, he put all that stuff up on, my oils and that, my healing oils, my elemental oils. He started selling as elemental oils for pagan rituals. And he put all the symbolisms from that occult book onto all the stuff that he was selling, ceremonial, sacrificial daggers and all of that he was selling, because he was getting the signs and symbols from that occult book. And I said, don't do it. And he did it. And because his girl, Katie, one of the girls he was seeing, Katie Hamilton, the one he told the police he wasn't seeing anyone. And then the night he got me locked up, he introduced my boys to Katie. She was into like witchcraft, and she's goth. We call her Fat Panda because she looked like a fat panda. She had all the books about, spell books, and I kept saying, don't do it, because you're messing with things you know nothing about. But they thought they knew better. And so they had a whole eBay account from Chris's old account. They turned his old eBay account into their little pagan ritual shop, and their ceremonial sacrificial daggers and their potion oils and that, which they took from me before the alchemy had even been completed on it. And they took the symbols that he was learning from his little book that he showed me to put on all their products. And I said, don't do it, because you don't know what you're doing. It's all wrong. And now look. And now Christopher Black's going to go down as in the Epstein files. He's going to go down in history as being connected to the coalition of Epsteiners. Because they didn't listen, because everything's backfiring. Santaro, all of it's all backfiring. Because they chose money and greed and lust and fame, and so for the couple of years that they thought they were winning, it was just God setting them up for the greatest gotcha moment in history. I've just been plodding along, doing my investigations, keeping my head down, doing my little news reports and posting my little posts, letting everybody know what was coming. While everybody sat back and laughed and thought, yeah, we're getting away with this. Well, surprise. So I'll put links in the description box, but it's a big deal for me because, one, they're going after the traffickers now, and the traffickers are people like Zelensky and Keir Starmer and Musk. Three of the most powerful people that I've been, publicly whistleblowing about for years. And 2, Frazzled Rip is now making news around the world. And Frazzled Rip is the whole reason why they came after me in the first place. It was like the final nail in the coffin. I was getting too close. So, yep, there we go. So I'm just going to roast marshmallows by the fire now and watch it all come down. I'll let you all deal with it because I've done my bit. I've paid my dues. I've served. And now I get to focus on me and building my school with my sons in Switzerland. And the only people I want to hear from my past that I will let through my front door. Think of Teddy Swims, closed door. The door's closed. Now, you had your chance, you blew it. Other than my 2 babies. That's it. Closed door. So, I'm going to go and finish my coffee. I'm exhausted. It's been an emotional day. I'm a good girl. I'm Snow White. And in my dream, remember? Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, but they ended up being angels with halos. Yeah, I'm pure. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I'm a good girl. I'm so glad I didn't take the bait. I'm so glad when I came to the crossroads and I was given the option of following the light and serving God and following the road that I was heading down with my exes and my students and all that. I'm so glad I chose the ascension. I am so glad I chose the ascension. I'm so glad I don't care what people think about me. Because at least now I know I'm saved. I'm not going to be touched by any of this. I got yeeted long before the shit was going to hit the fan. I'm so glad I'm a good girl. Kept myself pure. Purified myself. I did the work and I purified myself. And now my soul is clean. I have a clean soul. I'm a good girl. That's what I said to my sister today. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl now. I've done the work. I sought my salvation and I've been purified. So I have nothing to be ashamed of. Walking off into the sunset now, I have nothing to be ashamed of. My conscience is clear. I've been relieved of sin. I've paid my debt. My burdens have been lifted. I'm just going to walk away. I'm still grieving Amber, obviously, but I know she's waiting for me in the future because she said so in that dream yesterday. So I can walk away with my head held high, not ashamed of anything. Whereas everybody else, they need to get ready to start running because the lynch mobs will be coming next. Guaranteed. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.